Russia's invasion of Ukraine has sparked global condemnation. This included sanctions against Russia and military support to Ukraine. But for the West to declare Ukraine as a no-fly zone is off the table now. On Thursday, NATO's Secretary General reacted to Ukraine's call for a no-fly zone. Stoltenberg dismissed plans to move into Ukraine on ground or its airspace. He said it was NATO's responsibility to avert a war in Europe involving NATO allies. The European Council president also said that it would be one step too far to reinforce a no-fly zone over Ukraine, which isn't even a NATO member. Similarly, UK's Prime Minister Boris Johnson ruled out Ukraine's request on Tuesday during a press conference in Estonia. Johnson stressed that NATO is a defensive organization and to shoot Russian planes was not on its agenda. And on Monday, the White House press secretary ruled out the possibility of America shooting down Russian warplanes because that will place the US in a direct military conflict with Russia. So is the West's dismissal of Ukraine's request for a no-fly zone becoming a bone of contention? On Tuesday, the Ukrainian president tweeted about requesting the German chancellor to close Ukraine's airspace. This request he also made to the French president. While the West may seem to disagree, President Zelensky's view is endorsed by his country's MPs. Listen in.
We need a no-fly zone over the whole of Ukraine. We cannot provide it ourselves, so we ask for help. And you can help us now. You can help a country to still exist tomorrow. You can help a people to still exist tomorrow. You can help Ukrainian children to wake up and see the sunlight and not to go down to bed in the dark with the lullabies of sirens in the background. Save Ukraine. No-fly zone for Ukraine.
Let's now tell you why Ukraine is asking for a no-fly zone. A no-fly zone refers to airspace where certain aircraft cannot fly. No-fly zones are used to protect sensitive or VIP areas. These include royal residences, sporting events, or large gatherings. Militarily, a no-fly zone is meant to stop enemy aircraft. This could use surveillance, preemptive strikes, or shooting the enemy aircraft. And for NATO, a no-fly zone over Ukraine would mean shooting down Russian warplanes if needed, something that the West cannot afford. For Western countries, any conflict with Russia possibly equals a nuclear war, especially after the Russian president said that he was placing the country's nuclear forces on special alert. While the West has refused to grant a no-fly zone over Ukraine, interestingly, they have been used before. In 1991, the US and coalition partners established two no-fly zones in Iraq, that too without UN backing. In 1992, during the Balkans conflict, the UN banned unauthorized military flights in Bosnian airspace. And in 2011, the UN Security Council also approved a no-fly zone in Libya. The Bosnian and Libya zones were both enforced by NATO forces. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.